自分が困るんだろ。
Huh? Huh? What?
踊らねえっつってんだろ。もちろん
Oh.
ママ姉の誘いも冷たく断るのでした。断るのです。
そんなこと。
思う自分を許さない。
Oh no. Oh no. Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Kaylee and I'm back today with some more Fruits Basket. So we just had the craziest 2 episodes in the last video. We had a lot about Yuki and his backstory, especially with Akito and when they first got introduced as kids. We finally had the moment where Yuki was able to own and communicate the feelings that he has towards Tohru, what he was yearning for when he was trying to be around her and with her and near her. And it turns out he was actually looking for some sort of mother figure in his life, somebody who would give him unconditional love and support, who would be there waiting for him when he got home, who would accept every part of him and make him smile and just create a warm place for him to come home to. It does really shift everything into perspective from the beginning of the season when they were at the beach and he had this realization to now, because even coming off the beach episodes, it really did seem like he was still kind of throwing his hat in the ring in a romantic sense with Tohru. But knowing what we know now about Akito and how he essentially had called that out to Yuki in the moment when they had that conversation at the beach, it feels like either Yuki really started to understand it and accept those feelings at that point and now has just been trying to figure out how to navigate those feelings, how to communicate them, how to have that conversation with Tohru. Or there's also the possibility that he might not have understood that right away, and Akito pushing him and making that statement could have caused him to potentially just see and try to explore that connection that he has with Tohru to see if Akito is right, if he is looking for a mother figure, or if he does want something romantic with her. My gut says that he did realize it on the beach trip, and when you go back and think through those moments that have happened since, it makes a lot of sense. And it makes sense not just in the way that he's interacted directly with Tohru, but also in the way that he's observed Tohru and Kyo. Because as much as he might understand his feelings now and have a better idea of what he's actually looking for, it doesn't mean it doesn't still hurt him to see Kyo and Tohru growing closer. Because for a while, he probably did confuse his feelings to be romantic. And so for a while, maybe Tohru was his goal in terms of a romantic connection with her. And so even just letting that go, regardless of if he understands his feelings now, is still probably pretty challenging. He's also got a long and complicated past with Kyo, so that could also make it challenging. And speaking of a long, complicated past, we did see the moment that Yuki and Kyo kind of met for the first time. Yuki wanting a friend, wanting to interact with somebody who wasn't absolutely terrible to him like Akito was, and Kyo kind of coming with a vengeance and basically just being very unapproachable in that first moment. We also found out that the hat was originally Kyo and that it kind of gave Yuki the strength to get up and run away. Whether it was the excuse of giving it back to Kyo or just the ability to put on the hat of somebody else, somebody who seems to exist outside of the Soma estate, outside of Akito, who gets to have these friends and these connections and somebody who loves him waiting at home. To me, it does feel like the hat was a little bit of kind of confident role play of his, being able to embody everything that he thinks Kyo has that he doesn't. But just the realization that the hat was Kyo's that eventually got to Tohru, and how this like invisible string through all these characters existed for years and years. It's so beautiful and it just adds so many layers to these characters and this story and just the show overall. If you want to stick around, go ahead and hit subscribe. The uncut version of this reaction will be over on Patreon, so I'll put that link in the description box below if you want to check that out. And now let's jump into the episodes.
特に意識していなかった。最初の頃はただのクラスメートでテント暮らしをしていた変な人。相馬や物のけつきとかに対するバカな反抗心が心のどこかにあったからにも。
Oh, okay.
でも彼女は言った。
That's kind of interesting.
曇りなくまっすぐに。
記憶が消されちゃっても。
I guess that's kind of interesting because I wouldn't imagine Yuki being the person that would do something purely for the sake of being rebellious, but I guess it makes sense given his background. He obviously doesn't live at the estate, and we know all the reasons for that. I just think that's an interesting realization, and I think it helps to get his inner thoughts on the situation and what led him to be drawn to Tohru and everything. And that makes a ton of sense. I would love to hear more of his introspection on how he came to, I don't know, this point of really understanding and recognizing what his feelings are, but we'll wait for that. I mean, we got some of it last episode, but
お母さん、お母さんみたいにね。そりゃまた。よくわかんないや。俺の母親あげよっか。
俺の弱音を嫌な顔一つしないでじっと聞いてくれたこと、受け止めてくれたこと、こういう弱い人間もいるんだってことを否定しないでくれたこと。
I love that they showed that shot of Kisa because obviously a big reason why I had the initial thought that he viewed her potentially as a mother or somebody that gives a motherly energy was due to that episode, because he was very fixated on her in that episode and the way that she dealt with Kisa, especially because Kisa was like, I think the first one that was really young that she really met. Everyone else was relatively older, at least her age or older. And so being able to see her interact with Kisa and be that figure for Kisa in a way that he had obviously longed for, I think really fixated him on her. And I think that was where it was most evident, especially when, you know, he asked her if he could, you know, put his head on her shoulder at the end. And it just felt like seeing her interact with Kisa put him at ease.
子供のように体も心も預けて、凛もそうだったんだろう。お母さんを、母親の愛情を求めていたんだ。本田さんにいつの間にか。
女の子なのに。
He's like, I'm struggling to understand this, which I can relate to. If you don't know the whole story, I can feel like this would be kind of insane.
あの姿になった。追いかけていった彼女の姿は
Oh,
女
wow.
だった。でも俺にとってはやっぱり異性である前にお母さんみたいな存在だった。ただひたすら居心地のいい場所で甘えていたい。いつまでも。
This is so sweet.
焦った。蓋をした。
Oh, okay. So I wonder, I was about to, let me just play it because I was about to
そんなこと
say,
ないって。男として女性として接しようと。
I was about to say that I wonder if he realized it. And then when all of these other moments happened, when I said it seemed like he was still kind of throwing his hat in the ring romantically with her, I wonder if he had realized it and then was like, ooh, I need to do more. Like I need to make this a regular relationship between a guy and a girl. And obviously that's exactly what it was, which again puts all of these moments into much better perspective of why he was acting the way he was acting. And especially like he was just giving some weird energy at the beach, and I couldn't figure out if it was like weird as in Akito got to him and he was starting to have dark thoughts. But now knowing this, that just, it makes so much more sense.
ユキは一人で理屈こねてさ、単に諦めてるだけと違う？ ほら、あいつ今日に？
そんなんじゃない。
Okay,
確かにあいつには
really good question.
あいつは彼女をちゃんと女として見ている。好きだって目が言ってる。彼女も
Stop.
あいつにだけは。でもそんな。
Oh my God. Okay. So I love that he asked that question because I think from an outsider's point of view, that's exactly what it would look like, right? Because all this kid has seen is that Yuki obviously cares a lot about Tohru. They have gone home together all the time. She lives in their house, right? I don't think he knows that. But nonetheless, they spend a lot of time together. And I think anyone on the outside would think that Yuki very much likes her and wants to be with her. And then she is also spending time with Kyo. And Kyo very much looks 180, complete night and day from being with anyone else to being around Tohru. So I think from his perspective, it makes so much sense that that would be the logic, that maybe Yuki is trying to just let himself down easily when he's realized that Tohru is not going to end up with him. I also love his mentality of pushing back and saying that's definitely not it, right? Like he sees exactly what we see with Kyo and Tohru, which is very nice. And it makes sense why he's been observing them so intently, right? Probably trying to understand his feelings still and understand what the differences there are.
見つけ出したいんだ。今度こそ自分の力で。
Okay.
君がくれたたくさんの優しさやぬくもりを糧にもう一度歩き出したい。諦めが悪いんだ。本当に欲張りなんだ。俺だけの生きてる証を見つけ出したい。
生きてくことにそこまで必死になってるやつも珍しい。泣くなよ、ユキちゃん。
I love this. First of all, I love that he's like having fun with a friend. It's heartwarming, especially after seeing the whole situation with his childhood friends and their memories and all of that. This is so refreshing and nice. I also love the line of him wanting to discover this feeling on his own. Like find someone who loves him and sees him as a man and vice versa on his own, but using what Tohru was able to give him and using the foundation of love and warmth and light that she was able to show him for the first time. She's given him such high expectations on what it feels like to have somebody that you can call home. And so he's gonna go out and look for someone who gives him similar feelings, not the motherly stuff, but the warmth and the light.
全然戻ってこないから。
ここで食べてる俺の心配は。
具合はもういいの？
虫かい。
具合
No,
ほら
ignored.
電気の匂い吸いすぎて吐きそうって。君に秘密ごと？二人で何のお話ししてたの？
何って。
痛いこと？
嘘、やだわ。
Oh no.
だからなんでそっちに。
大好きだから。のことなんで言わないでいたの？彼女に。
そりゃ気にされたくないんだ。今は小さな負担もかけたくない。
ユキってほんと真面目だね。
It's just because he has no insight into the actual situation and how serious it is.
だったすっきりしたんだ。夢に見るかもご飯食べられないかも。
そこまで言うか。
どうしたら良い
I
のか。
wonder when that will be.
台本を読みましたらばセリフが山のように
Oh no.
全部きちんと忘れず。
嘘。王子役は今日なの？そりゃいいや見物だね。
Oh man.
ビデオに絶対撮んなきゃだね。何してんだよ。
If he didn't want Kazuma there, he definitely doesn't want Shigure there.
噛み締めて笑うな。ボッシー。てかお前、師匠にだけは本当言うなよ。
はい。
Right, right. What? I feel like she probably already has, but that's just.
甘い。
何を隠そう。
Oh.
私は意地悪なお姉さん役。
今意地悪されてんのお前じゃん。小学生レベル。
ゆきくん。
お鍋吹いてるけど。
Oh my god, he's useless.
今日、あの帽子だけど、今は本田さんの手元にある。わざわざ返さなくてもいいよな。
お夕飯の支度できました。
Oh man.
お腹すいたよ。とりあえず先に食べちゃおうかな。俺は後でいい。
So I don't quite know why he got upset about that. I mean, obviously, the situation that we've seen so far is that the hat flew off, Yuki got it, went to hand it back. He always like, I don't want to touch it because you touched it. He's probably assumed that Yuki either has had it this whole time or got rid of it, threw it away, whatever. I don't know what her having it would, I don't know what would be bad about that. Oh, but I guess Kyo does know because he's overheard this story about the hat. So, okay, we're just gonna have to wait. I feel like there's more to the story.
憧れの人、欲しくてたまらなかったものをくれた尊い人、幸せになってほしい。誰よりも。君だって君だけの証を見つけていいんだ。たまには拗ねて怒れる場
Oh
所、
no.
きっと来る。その時に伝えることもできるはず。たくさんのありがとうと一緒に。曇りなくまっすぐに。
That was an interesting interaction because it feels like Yuki was kind of saying like, when is he going to get his act together? I feel like because Kyo has what is assumed to be very limited time left to spend with Tohru, I think in Yuki's mind, he's thinking, why don't you make the absolute most of it? Why don't you say how you feel? Why don't you actually tell her and act like you love her, right? I mean, he is acting like he loves her, but truly and like honestly, tell her how you feel and go forward, and then give her the ability to spend the moments with you how she wants to spend them with you. I understand why Kyo doesn't do that, right? Like I understand in his mind why it would potentially hurt Tohru worse if they were to develop something a lot deeper and then he gets confined, and how she would probably spend her entire life trying to figure out how to get him out and could potentially get hurt, or at the very least just be eternally heartbroken. So I actually feel like I side with Kyo on this in terms of like, given the information he has with the expectations he has, like why would he try to start something now that he doesn't think he can follow through on? So no. He's gonna do all the costumes? They're gonna be gorgeous though. I'm excited about that. Oh no. Yeah, she cannot do this. It doesn't help that she has to be mean to Saki. Like that is also just makes this way worse. Oh no.
すみません、私ご迷惑ばかり。もっと努力して素敵な舞台になるよう頑張らなければ。
It's not that deep, you know?
衣装を作ってくださったあやめさんたちへの恩返しの意味も込めて。
やあやあ、さまよいきってる子羊たちよ。
Oh my gosh, this is so fun.
本当に来たの、兄さん。
兄さん。
No.
おう、ハニー、もちろんだと。一度交わした約束は決して違えない男。それが僕。ひょいとくぐって侵入するの。捕まるよ。
Not that you'll get arrested. Also, where's Kyo?
はい、ミネさんです。花島です。わお、これまた初めまして。お着替えは好きですか？
This is so chaotic.
純黒で。純白じゃなしに。別にいいけど、やっダメだろシンデレラ。こうなりゃ分かった。台本を書き換える。
Oh no.
話がうまくいかないなら、話の方をキャストに合わせ
You'd have to change her role completely. I'm not sure what you can do about this travesty now.
書き直されるのでしたらば、少し王子様の雰囲気も変えてみるのはいかがでしょう。キョウ君が演じやすいような王子様に。
Wow, that's so
そうしましたら
sweet.
キョウ君、練習にも参加してくださるかも。
あいつの演技も見てえのにな。腹抱えて笑いそうなのに。
それが逃げてるって話もある。
Right, like why would he want to be there?
私、
生徒会に戻るから。
別に触られたものなんかもう俺のものじゃない。あんな奴が触ったものなんかもう知らない。そんなもの俺は知らない。
Oh, wait. Are we getting more Kyoko lore? I had to go back because I thought I saw a Kyoko frame,
触られたものなんかもう
which again we have not addressed since it was first
あんな奴が
revealed.
触ったものなんかもう知らない。そんなもの
That's 100% her holding the hat. Okay, now there's lore.
こういう態度は人。本田さんを
あいつのことを口にするな。
バカにしやがって。何にも知らねえくせに。父親も母親もそばにいて、周りに褒められて必要とされて、気持ちなんかないものねだりのバカなやつのバカな望みなんか一緒。
そうであってほしいんだろう。嫌なやつがいてくれないと自分が困るんだろう。
Huh? Huh? What? I'm sorry?
先輩、そ んなところで何してるんですか？
Okay, we gotta get the lore behind
どう
this
したんですか
because
これ？
I
なんかあったんですか？
なんでもないよ。
that was kind of nuts.
こんにちは、山岸さん。マチも。
No, Machi.
やっぱ王子って言えば相馬先輩って感じなのに。ね、クラギさんもそう思わない？
思わない。
Oh.
会長はどこも王子らしくなんかない。
Oh. Okay, what does that mean? Whatever she meant, he was moved by it.
よかったです。ユキくんが探しに行ってくださったきり戻られなかったので。
何してんだ？
She waited for him.
きっと前よりもやりやすい役にしてくださってるはずです。私の役もとても演じやすいように変えてくださったんですよ。
I'm worried what he's gonna say to her.
でも私の場合はそもそも演技がダメすぎるからなんですが、中でも一番変わったのが
Oh yeah, I forgot about
手
that.
に怪我。
しょうがねえ。観念するか。お
Okay.
前、絶対笑うなよ。じゃあ、今日は帰るか。
Oh my god. Obviously, like, we saw the very initial intro of like learning that Kyo knew Kyoko when he was a kid. And we don't really have a good understanding of really like anything about what their interactions were like. All we know is that Tohru obviously didn't know that, doesn't know that. And he saw a picture of Tohru when she was young, right? Like Kyoko said, this is my treasure, blah, 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 blah. Kind of seems like there was more than that. It kind of seems like Kyoko was giving him some harsh truth and harsh reality about his like need to make Yuki the villain, which is quite interesting because that would mean that she has a lot of good insight about him and who he is. And I just feel like there's so much more to the story, and obviously she was holding the hat, so there has to be a deeper reason why he was so upset about her having the hat, because otherwise just what we know about the hat so far, it wouldn't really track why he'd be so upset about that. I also think his conversation with Yuki on the stairs was quite interesting because, like I said earlier, I think Yuki is really impatient and really wants Kyo to make the most of his time with Tohru, and he just wants Tohru to be happy. So whatever that means for Tohru and Kyo, that's what he wants to happen. It has nothing to do with Kyo being happy. It has everything to do with Tohru. And so I think that he wants him to step up, and I think there's a lot more to the story with Kyoko, and that could be causing him to hesitate a little bit. And because Yuki's not privy to that information and that story and that background, he might be feeling frustrated. But I have to know more about the story because it's just like, this is easily, in my opinion, knowing that Kyoko and Kyo knew each other, easily one of the most like insane parts of the story so far. One of the parts that I'm so interested in, and one of kind of like the best thread connectors. I mean, I am so excited by the idea of learning more about that. I'm assuming we will. Is this the Cinderella episode? I'm excited. Oh.
みんな浮かれて積極的だから気をつけないと。
That's a Haru. So perfect. Oh no. Megumi. Cinderella-ish. Amazing. Amazing. I love that. Wait, that's so perfect though. Due to various reasons, I love that they just like, no background, no information. This is just where we're at right now. I want to hear Tohru's revised lines.
今夜はお城の舞踏会。噂によれば王子の
お前の大事な姉ちゃんを返してほしきりゃさっさとドレスを仕上げるんだね。お姉様なんてこと。どこその王子が舞踏会を開くせいでお姉様。
This is perfect revision. I just love
シンデ
this.
レラもまだ見ぬ王子に恋焦がれているようで。
けれどドレスを仕上げなければ
I like, wait, he's like, she fell in love with him, and she's like, I'm gonna go kill him.
心配いらないよシンデレラ。
Oh. I know Ayame put extra love into that outfit.
舞踏会場
Oh
を
no.
まで燃やして。
それ犯罪です。
This is a dumpster fire, and I love every second of it.
こんな素敵なドレスお上手です。
No answer on how the dresses got there. I love that I know exactly what they were supposed to say in the script, but they're not saying it.
まあいいわ。
お前のために開いた舞踏会なんだぞ。誰か引っ掛けてこいよ。
Oh
う
no.
るせえな。興味ねえよ。
お前そんなだから童貞なんだ。
なんでてめえはそう恥じらいってもんがねえんだよ。今すぐどっかのコンビニで
Oh my god.
すごい
Momoji.
やつと踊ってろ。
王子様ぜひ私と。
踊らねえっつってんだろ。
はい失礼しました。
もちろんママ姉の誘いも冷たく断るのでした。断るのです。
I feel like he was meant to say
落
yes.
ち込むなよ。
会場の盛り上がりとは対照的に
I feel like that was part of the
テンションが下がっていく
rewrite,
王子
is
でした
that he
が
was supposed to say yes.
がやってきました。
綺麗な方です。
シンデレラの美しさに一目で恋に落ちた王子はダンスの誘いをするので
The
した。
narrator is so funny, and also I would not want his job.
あら
その気も知らねえで勝手なこと言うなてめえ。
せーなさっさと行け。
Oh my god.
今夜の電波は脳髄がうずくほど心地よいわね。
What?
頼む。もう少し会話が成立する話題をや。
もう帰らなくては。
よし。
Oh. Not the chopsticks in the shoe.
もう少し食べたかった。
No, no.
彼女が履いていたガラスの靴を残して。
いいよ別にそんな。
I just like can't tell what's on script and what's off script, because like what is Cinderella-ish, you know? What's the storyline here?
会いたいのに会いたいのに会いに来いこら。
誰に。
王子も今度は揺り動かされました。そう。
Ooh, so I feel like she was talking to Kareno, and Momoji knows that because Momoji and Tohru are the only two people that know that. But he has it on camera. So, will it make it to Kareno?
ああ、もう一度あの人に会いたいと。
もう一度会いたいなんて一言も言ってんの。
娘たちにガラスの靴を履かせまくります。
Not the
ガチン
walking.
コでサイズのあった人こそ彼女。
まだお一人シンデレラさんが。
No.
ちょっと王子。
お姉様に危害を加えるものは
Oh,
私は許
eating
さなくってよ。
nuts.
そろそろ来る頃だと思っていた。
Oh my god.
王子、返しなさい。
この人は本当に
They're all just like, what is
しかもまたなんか
this?
食ってるよ。
ここへ来た理由も分かっていてよ。お姉様に結婚を申し込みに来たのでしょ。
What?
なんです。
あ
俺は。
Why do I why do I feel like he was supposed to accept her dance at the ball and then come ask for her hand in marriage? Like, why do I feel like that's what was supposed to happen? Why did he mess it up? Although I kind of love the way this is going,
まさ
honestly.
か私と悪夢だわ。
お前こそ何がしたいんだ。
ずーっとそうやって自分をごまかしながら生きていくつもり。
I feel like this is
お
not.
城の中で。
Oh, maybe it is on script.
お城の中
I
で
feel like she's
閉じ込め
talking
られ
to Kyo, not the prince.
死ぬまで。
それで誰かに迷惑かけんのかよ。
No.
どうなろうが俺の勝手。
私はそんなの。すみません。なんでもないです。お邪魔しました。どうぞ進めて、お話を進めてください。
What was she gonna say? Oh no, this is the worst time for him to pop up. Or the best time for the audience, I'm sure.
君と王子の結婚がうまくいかないことはよく分かったよ。だからもう一度聞こう。君の本当の願いを。お前の願いは聞かない。自分の力で叶えてみせ。なんて見事なお騒ぎ。
こうして。
No, why do I feel like they're just subtly calling him out like real life, but in the play? Yes, okay. Feminism. I don't know that that's the message we got from this, but I'm happy that was the takeaway.
Cinderella っぽいもの。
終わった。もう俺は何も知らない。
Kazuma had to come, right?
花島咲です。
Oh my god, wait.
相馬カズマです。今日はいつもお世話になって。
Okay. She's like trying to become his bride, which like I totally get because he's so hot, but
私、今日の舞台は相手役が彼だったから。
oh, she is laying it on thick.
可愛らしい同級生だね。
師匠、結婚。
Oh my god. Wait.
突然そんなこと言って。
That's amazing.
今日もまだまだ子供だね。
誰が師匠に今日のことを教え。
誰でしょう。
誰だろうな。おめえはいつも嫌がらせなのかなんなのかわからんこと。
Someone was gonna tell him. You know, if it wasn't Tohru, and it wasn't Hatsuharu, or it wasn't Momoji, or it wasn't Shigure, who else would? I mean, someone was gonna tell him. You know?
トールさんにも挨拶をしていきたいんだが、どこにいるかわかるかい？
私はそんなの。
そうか。別に今日でなくてはいけないわけじゃない。そろそろ行くよ。
ちょっと待って。門まで送れよ。着替えてくる。
まさかそんなはずない。まさかそんなことは。
I don't know. I don't know what she was gonna say.
私はもみじくんたちと待ち合わせをしておりまして、舞台とは水戸黄門のことですか？
そう、それめっちゃ楽しみにしてたんだ。
お姉ちゃん、このお声は。お姉ちゃん。キサさん、お疲れトール。もみじくん、できましたらその DVD をお一つ。いいよ。クレノに渡せばいいんでしょ？え？なぜお分かりに？
Because he knows the assignment.
僕すごい。名推理
Oh.
ちっちゃんはいつも一人。はい、かしこまりました。
ヒロも。可愛いから気をつけて。
Aww.
なんだよそ
He
れ。
is so cute. Oh my god.
春にって優しいよね、本当。
Wow.
誰にでも無駄に。でもそういうとこがリンを悲しませたのかもしれないよね。
ヒロ。
そうだよ。しかも二人が付き合ってたの俺は知らないことになってるのに。ああ、もう俺本当。
お前まさかリンに惚れてんの？
Oh.
何って本気でそんなこと言ってるわけ？ばっかじゃないの？ほっといていこう、キサ。
もしや、いすずさんと初春さんは。
Oh, that's right. She doesn't even know.
いすずお姉ちゃんのこと。
Oh no.
だろ？聞こえてないの？
もしもし。
Oh.
いじめ現場発見か？
そんなことよりあれを止めないと。
ちょい待ち。女の喧嘩に男が入ると火に油だよ。しかも喧嘩の原因はユンユンでしょ。
Dang.
あの子らユンユンのファンじゃん。
だったらなおさら。
あのさ。
That's true. It would make her a much bigger target if he said something, but dang.
初めからほっといた方がよっぽど親切だと思うけど。
好きって。
すっとぼけてんじゃねえよ。ユキのことどう思ってんだっつうの。
天然の人。
Oh no.
天然なの？俺。
Oh my god. Oh my god. She's obliterating him. This is crazy. Like, she's not wrong. But dang. Why is she telling them that, you know? Oh, is that the plan? That's fantastic. It's so smart. And he's gonna hate it.
たでしょあの子たち。
そうだね。撮影会しなくちゃいけないけどね。
マッチのためちゃん。
マチ、俺が天然だって。
何を今さら？
あの人って。
なん
でもない。
Okay.
そのことだったんかな。王子じゃないか。いいえて妙ってやつじゃん。姫。
Oh my god. Okay, I do feel like though she reads him so well, like similarly to him being stuck in the closet. I think she has just such a good read on him because she seems like someone who is quiet, observant, you know, like she is kind of feeling him out and probably knows a lot about him just by watching him. I think what she said was all accurate. The airhead part is kind of, I don't know. I feel like that is a symptom of her not knowing everything that's happened to him or really having a firm grasp on like the context of his situation. If she knew all that, I feel like airhead would not be the word that was used because it's not the most accurate word for him, I don't think.
Tohru?
キョウ君、お疲れ様です。サさんたちがいらしてくださっていて、お食事を運んでるんです。楽しいですね、文化祭。キョウ君は楽しんでいらっしゃいますか？
師匠が来ててさ。
No.
師匠さん、いらしてたのですか？
まさか、そんなはずない。
そんなこと。
思う自分を許さない。
Oh no. Oh no. Okay, the long-awaited Cinderella-ish episode. The play was fantastic. It's everything I could have dreamt of and more. It was the perfect chaos, the perfect dumpster fire. I loved every single thing about it. The whole time I felt like Saki and Yuki were just trying to like subtly call out Kyo about Tohru and his relationship with her and basically like saying, hey, get your shit together. But again, there's so much context that we don't have about Kyo and specifically with her mom and how they knew each other, what the background is there and why that might be impacting his decision not to get closer with her right now. Again, I think that there is a lot of different mixed feelings on both sides. Obviously, based on the end of that episode, what I think was happening in the play was Kyo was basically saying, you know, if I can keep deluding myself and keep putting off what I want, then other people don't get hurt that way. So in his mind, why would he just be selfish and go and ask Tohru to be with him or be his when he is assuming he's going to get confined and locked up and then she's going to be alone, right? Like, to me, I can understand where he sees that as being really selfish, and the easier way is to just not even go down that path. And I think her intention was to say, I don't want that. Like, I don't want you to be focused on my feelings. I want you to tell me what you want. I want to be with you. And I don't actually know if that's what she was going to say, but I imagine that that's what she was going to say, of like, she doesn't want him to put off what he wants because of what's going to happen or what might happen to him in the future, which seems pretty clear at the end because they're both telling themselves that they're not going to go down that thought. They're not even gonna let themselves think that it could be possible, which is like, y'all, this slow burn is slow burning. I understand why Kyo doesn't want to go down that path. Tohru, I also can kind of understand because I think in her mind, she's putting other people before herself. She's finding a way to get him to not be confined above her immediate want to be with him. And I think that has to do with her hesitation right now. The Machi and Yuki situation is getting more interesting, right? Because he definitely seemed very disappointed, or not disappointed, but a little bit hurt by her assessment of him. And obviously she didn't know that he was listening, but I think hearing her say that he was an airhead and not a prince, he is so used to having girls just like fawning over him. And although that is not what attracts him, obviously, like he doesn't want those girls that are like part of the Yuki Soma fan club, right? Like he wants someone more like Machi, but I think the problem is that he is not receiving the same reaction from her that he gets from other people. So I think he's feeling just a little unsure how she feels about him. I think she is not necessarily saying those things as a bad thing. I think she's just saying that there is frustration on her part that no one really sees him, right? Like no one sees how lonely he is. No one sees that he is not this perfect person. No one sees that he's probably holding back a lot of emotions and feelings, and that keeps him with his guard up and walls around him. And so I think she can see all that. I think she can see that he's got this like immense anxiety, even if she doesn't understand why. So I'm interested to see where their kind of relationship, non-existent relationship right now goes. Hopefully somewhere, because I feel like they're quite an interesting pair. I don't really know how this is going to play out, but I'm intrigued. But I feel like I have yapped a lot. So thank you so much for watching. If you want to stick around, go ahead and hit subscribe. The uncut version of this reaction will be over on Patreon, so I'll put that link in the description box below if you want to check that out. And I'll see you guys next time to wrap up season 2 of Fruits Basket. Bye.